Day 37. Number 1, based on the graph at the right, which statement is not true? So the key is looking for something that's not true. Functions f and g have the same x-intercept. So x-intercept means it's going to be on the x-axis. So here is your f of x function, which is exponential, and it crosses the x-axis here. And then your g of x, which is a linear function because it's a line, crosses your x-axis here, and they're not in the same spot, so that one actually does not work. It says for b, the ordered pair 2, 14 is a solution for f of x. So if I go over to 2 and go up to 14, or I could just plug this value as in for here and see if 4 squared minus 2 equals 14. Well, 4 squared is 16, minus 2 is 14, so that one works. The next one says the ordered pair of 2, 7 is a solution of g of x. So if I go over to 2 and go up to 7, it is on the line, but let me check by plugging it in, make sure I'm just not guessing. So 4 times 2 minus 1, 4 times 2 is 8. Or 4 times 2 is 8, minus 1 is 7, so 2 comma 7 is a solution, so that one works. The value f of x begins to exceed g of x during the interval between x equals 1, x equals 2. So between 1 and 2, so in between this part, f of x should be above g of x. So let's see. So in between here, f of x is this one. Well, it starts going above the other line right here, and that is between 1 and 2. So that one works as well. So that should tell you which one is not true. These are all right. On the next one, describe the domain and range of the function in interval notation and inequality notation. Well, domain are your x values, and range are your y values. So let's start with our domain. Okay, so that's for how far left to how far right does this graph go for your x values. Well, since there are arrows at the end of this, so there's an arrow here and an arrow here, that means it keeps going forever to the left and forever to the right. So in interval notation, that's negative infinity to positive infinity. And since you can't actually reach negative infinity and positive infinity, you put parentheses around it. And as we said, domain is with x's. So x is in between negative infinity and positive infinity, or we could just put they're all real numbers. For range, for our y values, so how low does it go to how high does it go? Well, we're just looking at the y values. The lowest y value for this graph is a 0, and it does stop there, so it's inclusive. All the way up, and it keeps on going forever because the arrows are pointing up, so 0 to infinity, and you can't reach infinity, so parentheses. And since it's for y values, it's going to be y has to be greater than or equal to 0. Or you can write y is greater than or equal to 0 this way as well.